I grew up in Europe and moved to the United States when I turned 18. As the youngest of 6 children and a self-appointed observer, I gravitated towards photography while in boarding school in Wales. Long hours of my youth was spent in the darkroom working with negatives, contact sheets, and making prints. My transition from analog to digital happened quite recently and with a certain reluctance. The physicality of my old negatives continues to reassure me, whereas the short-term lifespan of my external hard drive does not. During the past 2 decades, loved ones, many of whom I had photographed, passed away, while at the same time my children started leaving home. Critical points of reference shifted or disappeared altogether. As a result, the last few years of my life have been deeply introspective. I went through archives searching for my favorite images and spent many months making collages where an ensemble of photographs emerged as I feverishly juxtaposed them. It was a process which helped me understand how my focus had shifted between worlds. What I like to do is show that I have range. And so the range goes from, portraits I may have shot almost 50 years ago to trees that I shot 3 years ago. I'm always looking for simplicity. I don't like photographs that are too busy. And I went and picked the rocks that I thought were the most elegant, where the background was undisturbed. So the physical journey to get to the rocks was very arduous. Sometimes we'd have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and go to these places so that we could catch the light at dawn. And we did that with the thunderstorm picture over there, in which we got up very early, crisscrossed the river, and then we had this big dramatic thing where we looked over the horizon and this storm was approaching, and suddenly, as we were walking back to the car, we were engulfed by the storm. At that point, because I'm Italian and fatalistic, I just sort of shrugged it off and thought, well, it will be what it will be. The first pictures that I took of the lindens were in 1991 when I had just moved into the house and a hurricane hit 2 weeks later, and I'd never been in a hurricane before. And I could not believe what I was witnessing, the amount of water that was falling, the amount of wind that was blowing, the amount of noise that I was witnessing. And I went out there and I shot pictures, and it turns out that it's when my journey with the 3 lindens started, and then when I sort of was completely riveted by watching these 3 trees go through a hurricane, and in the end, they lost quite a few leaves, but they didn't even lose a branch, and so I sort of became obsessed with their resilience. What we're looking at is an evolution of who I am and what my work reflects. I did go from people to nature, and I think there will continue to be nature in my work.